One of my students asked when exactly we say the phrase "excuse me" in English. This student heard it in several different situations and wants to know how it's supposed to be used. I can think of at least 6 times you should say "excuse me." One is when you want to get someone's attention. For example, "Excuse me, is this seat taken?" Or, "Excuse me, do you know what time it is?" Another is when you want someone to move so you can get past them. If you're on a bus and you need to get to the door but people are blocking the way, you can say, "Excuse me," to politely ask them to move aside and let you through. Excuse me is also used as a polite and slightly formal way to tell someone you need to leave. If you're in a group meeting at work but you get an important call on your cell phone, you might say, "Excuse me a moment, I need to take this call," as you step out of the room. A fourth situation is after you let out a bodily noise like a burp, cough, or fart. Say "excuse me" as a bit of an apology to those who hear it. A fifth time to say "excuse me" is if you didn't quite hear someone and you need them to repeat it. If you're at work and your coworker asks, "Did you call the client yet?" but you were distracted and you didn't quite hear, you could say, "Excuse me?" and then they'd repeat, "I asked if you've called the client yet." And a sixth way to use "excuse me" is to disagree with someone. You can say it politely. For example, "Excuse me, but I don't think that data is accurate." Or you can say it rudely or sarcastically in response to someone accusing or criticizing you. Like if a friend complains about you being a bit late to a meetup and you say, "Well, excuse me, it was only like 10 minutes." Now you know a bunch of different ways to use "excuse me" in English. Make sure to download more of these Ask the Teacher lessons by clicking on the link under the video. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got more English lessons to prepare. Bye!